Hello. Give me about 30 seconds. I'm going to post only 3 items. I'm only going to post 3 items. I need another 15 seconds. And then we're done. And then you can ask me questions. We're going to discuss the fake news that is Mr. Trump on the border wall and what his actual plan is, according to the story in the catch and release program. Mr. Trump, it appears, is doing the exact same thing that Mr. Obama did under the guise of a different false narrative. Because Mr. Trump, look at this. See the word converse? We'll just take the first 3 letters. Politicians are liars. And Mr. Trump is now a politician. Gary Bonoya stated it best. What Mr. Trump's intentions are and his words are not what he's going to be able to accomplish. They are two different things. Now, I'm going to explain to you what this news article I posted is. First, I will tell you that I'm having trouble with my internet here in the Philippines. And I'm not happy about that. We just got off the phone for an hour, and they assured me my internet was working perfectly, but it's not. The modem is gobak, which means garbage. Digressing back to Mr. Trump and this article that I have posted the link and the title of the article for. Trump says all illegal immigrants are going to be returned. That's not the truth. What is the truth is that all illegal immigrants that try to cross the border outside the what they call a portal. A portal is a place of entry, a legal place of entry. If the immigrant goes to the legal place of entry, according to this article, they're processed. If they try to get over the border someplace that's not a legal entry and a legal entry, then they get turned back. I don't know what that means. Does it mean they get turned back and then they walk down the road and they go to a legal entry portal? Or does it mean they pick them up, put them in a helicopter, and fly them back to where they come from? There's no way of knowing because no one is telling the truth. You have estimates of 2,000 and then 4,000. And now Trump said it's 7,000, but the number went up to 14,000. It was probably closer to 20,000. And now the average number is back down to the magic number 7,000. Okay. If they weren't going to push this through and let these people in, the number would have been 6,000. 6,000 immigrants. 6,000 immigrants. That's their terminology. 6,000 would have meant we're not pushing it through, but the magic number of the Illuminati is number 7 in this case. So 7,000 immigrants. It hasn't changed in 2 weeks. We have $1 billion worth of aircraft surveillance available. We have video footage, how long the caravan is, how wide it is. It could be 10 people wide. They know how many people fit on a line, 10 people wide and 1.5 miles or 2 miles or 4 miles long. They can take an estimate, and they're not doing that. They don't give you any truthful information about this. But I am going to give you the truth according to this article from the LA Times. The truth is, when the illegal caravan gets to America, if they choose to go to a processing portal, okay, if they choose to go there, Daisy, don't jump up and down the stairs because we might lose the connection again, and that's for some reason that's what seems to be causing it. Thank you. Okay, so if they choose to go to a portal, then they get processed. And now let me tell you what an illegal immigrant family member means. It doesn't mean a mother and a father and 2 children. No, that's not what it means. It doesn't mean a mother and her children. No, that's not what it means. That could be the definition of a family unit coming from a normal frame of reference to what a family member is. But when Trump says he's not going to separate families, that's the hoax. That's the fake news. The fake news is when Trump says he's not going to separate families, because here is what is defined as a family member. I am an illegal immigrant, and I walk into this portal to get processed to become an American citizen. And I, Michael Fazio, say, I have a cousin in America that is my family. Now, we could have been communicating for 2 months over the email and have all the information that we both understand to be true. It may even be his cousin or brother or mother or father. So he says, quote unquote, I am a family member of Thomas. Okay. Thomas is in New York and the border is in California. So the ICE agent that interviews the illegal immigrant says, Michael, what is your mother's name? And you say, my mother's name is Thomas. And so the ICE agent says, how can we prove this? And you say, you can call her up. And I give the ICE agent my mother, Thomas's phone number. And when the ICE agent calls up my mother, Thomas, it doesn't matter. It's all a fluff job. They're giving you a reach around from the White House. So the ICE agent calls up my mother, whose name just happens to be Thomas, and says, Thomas, is Michael your son? And the ICE agent says, oh, okay, he's your son. Where do you live, Thomas? And my mother says, well, I live in New Jersey right now. I'm in New Jersey, but I also have a residence in San Diego. But the ICE agent says, where are you now? So they say New Jersey. Okay, so they're in New Jersey right now. And the ICE agent says, can you give us your address and directions to your house from the bus depot? And my mother gives the ICE agent directions to her house. The ICE agent processes me as a family member. Remember, we're talking about what Trump's definition of the word family is, and or whatever the government's definition of the word family is. And the ICE agent processes me, whatever their process is. I don't pretend to know that. And after 20 days, they release me to go see my mother, to go stay with my mother, to go live with my mother, and to go to my mother's address and sign up for my welfare check, which is $3,850 a month. So the ICE agent says, Michael, do you have any money to get to your mother's house? Meanwhile, they provide food and shelter for 20 days. But it could be faster. And the reason it's faster now, according to that article, is because they're no longer processing you for the mandatory 20 days. Why? Because they said they had 3,750 beds available altogether. And they have 3,750 beds full, but the government is only funding 2,500 beds. So they have to release these people like this, quicker. Now they don't stay 20 days. They might stay 20 minutes. With no verifiable background information. They might fingerprint you. I don't know. It doesn't say. It just says they're processed. What does that mean? It doesn't mean anything. And to Trump, who's lying to you through his teeth, it means even less, because he's saying all illegal border crossing will be turned back. But it doesn't say they're going to pick them up in a helicopter, fly them back to Honduras. It says they will be turned back at the illegal crossing. But what's to prevent them from walking another 50 miles? So the registered border crossing and applying for this, nothing at all. So now let's get into the cost of an illegal immigrant. That's $1 million a year. I'm going to use round numbers, but I'm going to use real numbers. And it's going to be $1 million a year. Excuse me, $1 million for a 20-year period. And here's how it works. Each illegal immigrant adult is entitled to $3,850 a year. A month. I said a year. It should be every 10 years, but it's a month. More than any American Social Security, more than the veterans receive. But each illegal immigrant is granted $3,850 a month between food stamps, medical, dental, electric bills, water bills, rentals, and a furniture allowance. Plus whatever operations they need when they reach America, that's free also. Then they can also get elective surgery. I'm going to break down the numbers for you in a minute. They could also get elective surgery to become a woman if they're a man, or a man to become a woman. Now, I don't know how that works, but they can get it. It's part of their right as an illegal immigrant who came to America. They can ask for elective surgeries, including transgender surgeries. Okay, so now here's how it costs $3,850 a month. And here's what it totals out to over a 20-year period, because it doesn't stop at 20 years. I'm just giving you a 20-year period. An illegal immigrant, I come into your country and I get processed. I tell them I have no money to go see my mother, and they give me a bus ticket to my mother's house, whatever that costs, through Greyhound or whatever other bus company, or a train. Okay, that's free. There's your first freebie. I get to my mother's house. I go to an immigration lawyer. I say I want to be granted all the benefits that come along with being in America. And I'm going to tell you how this works. The immigration lawyer gives them a list of stuff that they're allowed to receive. That list of stuff comes out to about $3,850 a month. It's not a fake number. Just Google illegal immigrants cost America $3,850 a month, and you'll come to the links that provide you proof of that statement. So take 10 months, because we're gonna. I'm going to do the math in my head. 10 months, that's $38,000. Okay, and then add another $7,000 for the other 2 months, so it's $45,000 a year. We're only using round numbers. In 20 years, that's $900,000 per illegal adult. That's what it costs. Plus the elective surgery, plus any kind of accident, anything. They get into a car accident with no insurance, we pay for that. They get driver's licenses for free. They get electric for free. Bottom line, $3,850 per month is what it costs us for each illegal. Children might be a little less. I think it comes out to about $36,000, because you have to remember, if they're going to school in New Jersey, it's $26,000 a year, the cost of schooling in New Jersey per student. How they work that out, why it's so expensive, it is. So for 15 years, they get $26,000 worth of education a year, but we'll just go for 1 year. So the first, from ages 4 through 17, okay, let's just round it out at 12 years. Let's just round it out at 12 years. They get $26,000 a year for schooling only. So for 1 year, $26,000. And then they get another $10,000 in benefits each year. Add that $10,000 to the $26,000, you have $36,000. Times 10 is $360,000. Add another $7,000, $45,000 a year. Okay, for the children, roughly. Could be less, could be plus or minus 20%. So that's another $900,000. But now you have 9 and 9 is 18, and 18 and 18 is 30. That's $3.6 million for a family of 4. But here's the kicker. I explained it in my last live stream, which I'm going to probably delete. I had a company that did excavation. I was a licensed excavation contractor, and I was a licensed septic tank installer in Florida. Okay, now, when I hired, I had a 7-acre. I also had, I was a licensed landscaper, which entitled me to clear land. And that included any type of clearing except mangroves. That was a separate tab. So landscaping and mangroves is a separate tag. I didn't have the mangrove license tag. So when I hired another company who had a big wood chipper, he had 8 or 10 people that he could put on the job every day. I would rip the trees were, the tree trunks were anywhere from 2 feet in diameter to 8 feet in diameter. They were called whispering pines. It's a weed. It's a weed tree, okay? But it grows. In 30 years, you could have a tree that's 60 feet tall. In 5 years, you could have a tree in your backyard with an 8-inch root. I mean, an 8-inch trunk. So these are garbage trees. They were allowed to be removed. I didn't touch the mangroves on this job. So ICE comes the day after we start because, I don't know, they saw my sign up on the front of the property. The property was vacant for 20 years. It's in a very rich community, the richest community in the Florida Keys, in the Keys themselves, Isla Morada. And they come and interview me, and I said, yeah, this is my equipment. Here's my business license. Here's my insurance. And then they interviewed the owner of the man who owned the wood chipper. And he gave them his business license, but he had 8 or so employees that were not registered as where the workers, they had no paperwork. They were in the country legal. They didn't have a driver's license. They came by bus, or he picked them up in the morning. They had no paperwork at all. So ICE interviewed them, and they let us continue with the job with those men on the job. Okay, I needed them, but I would not hire illegal immigrants. I never hired an illegal immigrant. I can be proud to say that. I said, if you have a paperwork and a driver's license and you can show me something I can send out a W-2 or W-9 form to, I'll be happy to do it. They could not supply me with any of that. So I wouldn't hire them. I did hire other men, and they were U.S. citizens with Social Security numbers, and I filed the proper paperwork. But these people were known to be illegal in the country. So now the other company was paying them $10 and $12 an hour off the book. So now they're collecting $3,850 a month for their illegal collection of funds as an illegal immigrant. And now they're collecting another $1,600 a month, $400 a week, $1,600 a month cash, which comes out to about $2,500 a month on the books, which comes out to be $115,000 on the books. So they're collecting another $1,600 a month on top of their $3,850. So a few weeks go by and ICE doesn't come, and I asked the owner of the wood chipping company if you people that want to, pump Trump up, this is what's going on in the country. All the good that he did doesn't amount to a fart in the wind if he's going to let, I'm looking at the comments, if he's going to let another 1 million people come into America, he's already let 1 million people come into America. Already, 1 million.